Jai Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Sham Sundar Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamrtam Ki Jai. Jai Guru Gauranga Radha Sham Sundar Giridhari Ju Ki Jai.
Even the Devashis don't come.
Okay. So, continuing our discussion of Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamrtam, Sridhar Maharaj's great work on the subject of Sharanagati, surrender in devotion. Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamrtam, life, nectar of the surrendered soul's positive and progressive immortality. Chapter 3.
How I explain?
Sri
Can you give me
Bhaktavachanamritam, words of nectar from the devotees.
Last 2 years.
Anukulyasya Sankalpa,
One of my friends is gone Bangladesh.
acceptance of the favourable.
The date next 6 is tomorrow. Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Tomorrow Ekadashi. Tomorrow Ekadashi. Oh, thank you so much. But if you don't mind, can you help me like that? Then I'll give you my phone number. You give me text like that.
No, we won't give it to
You
you.
don't
It's
do
not
it?
a service. If you want to come and find out, we'll take it. We'll have to come, we'll have you text.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
All right.
But now I haven't not a single penny. Just I come again. Normally I come before I came here. That's it.
Okay. Chapter 3. Sri Bhaktavachanamritam, words of nectar from the devotees. Anukulyasya Sankalpa, acceptance of the favourable. Krishna Karshnaga Sadbhakti Prapanat Vanukulake Krityat Vad Nishchayas Chanu Kulya Sankalpa Uchate. Everything should be done that encourages the service of Sri Krishna and his devotee, and whatever is conducive to the state of exclusive surrender must be executed. Such a firm conviction is called Anukulyasya Sankalpa, or acceptance of the favourable. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam eva tat padashritanam paramanukulam. Of everything favourable, Hari Sankirtan, performed by souls surrendered unto the lotus feet of Lord Hari, is paramount. Chetodarpana marjanam, bhava mahadvagni nivapanam, shreya kairava, chandrika, pitaranam vidya padujivanam, anandam buddhivardhanam, pratipadam, purnamritashvadanam, sarvatma snapanam, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Of course, that is first verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshastakam. May the Sri Krishna Sankirtan be all victorious in its pristine glory. This congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord cleanses the looking glass of consciousness, extinguishes the raging forest fire of material existence, and spreads the benediction moon rays that cause the lotus of the heart to bloom. This chanting is the life and soul of divine consorthood, expanding the ocean of pure ecstasy. It is the flavour of full nectar at every moment, bathing and cooling the entire self. Tatra Shampati Chatushtayam Paramanukulam. These 4 jewels are accepted as the greatest treasure, favourable to the performance of Hari Kirtan. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Shada Hari. This is the 3rd verse of Shikastakam. One who knows himself more insignificant than a blade of grass, who is as forbearing as a tree, and who gives due honor to others without desiring it for himself is qualified to sing the glories of Lord Hari constantly. Karshnanam adhikaranurupa sevaiva bhajanukula. To render service to the devotees according to their respective qualifications is conducive to pure devotion. Krishneti yasya gritan manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhischa bhajantamishan shushrushaya bhajanna vigyana ananya manya vigyana ananya anya nindadi shunya ridamipsita tangalapha. That is, of course, from Upadeshamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. And it's been rendered into a Bengali poem by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Krishna Saha Krishna Nama Abhina Janiya Aprakrita Ekamatra Sadhana Maniya Jai Nama Loya Name Dikshita Hoya Adara Karibe Mane Swagoshti Janiya Namera Bhajane Jai Krishna Seva Kore Aprakrita Brajje Basi Sarvada Antare Madhyama Vaishnava Jani Dara Tarapaya Anugatya Karatara Mane Arakaya Namera Bhajane Jai Swarupa Labhiya Anya Bastu Nahi Deke Krishna Deya Giya Krishna Tara Shambandana Poya Jagate Sarvajane Sama Buddhi Hare Krishna Brate Tadrisha Bhajana Vigye Janiya Abhista Kai Manovake Seva Haya Nivishta Shushrusa Koribe Tanre Sarvato Bhavete Krishnera Charana Labha Haya Tanna Hoite. Knowing Krishna and his name to be identical truth, one embraces exclusively the holy name's path. And thus, who is initiated into chanting the name properly should be mentally respected as a member of the family. And he who serves Krishna by constant worship of the name within his heart, ere residing at Sri Vrindavan Dham, know him an intermediate devotee. Make obeisance at his feet, and keep him as a faithful friend in your thought and deed. And who, by internal service to the name, knows his divine identity, sees Krishna, only Krishna, in every form and entity, seeing nothing separate from Krishna in the entire creation, he sees all souls equally, serving Krishna's predilection. Know such a veteran votary, most honored and most cherished. Serve him in thought, word and deed, with heart's fulfillment relished. With obeisance, inquiry, service him in all respects entreat. By the grace of such a great soul, we can reach Lord Krishna's feet. Utsahadi Guna Anukulyatvat Adaranya. Because of their favorability, the 6 qualities beginning with enthusiasm should be honored. Utsahan Nishcha Darja Tat Tat Karma Pravartana Sangha Tyagat Sato Brite Sadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. This has been rendered into Bengali poem by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhajane Utsahajara Bitare Bahire Sudurlabha Krishna Bhakti Bhabe Dire Dire Krishna Bhakti Pratijara Vishwasa Nishchoya Shraddhavan Bhaktiman Jana Sehoya Krishna Seva Na Paya Dira Bhave Jay Bhaktira Sadhana Kare Bhaktiman Se Jahate Krishnera Seva Krishnera Shantosha Sri Karme Bhratti Sadha na haraye rosa. Krishnera bhakta jana sangha porihari. Bhaktiman bhakta sangye sadabhaje hari. Krishna bhakta jaha kore tad anusharane. Bhaktiman acharya jivana marane. E chaya jana hoya bhakti adhikari. Vishvera mangala kare bhakti parachari. Within, without, he who serves with enthusiasm will gradually attain to the rarest pure devotion. In devotion to Lord Krishna, one who has firm faith is a person loyal and devoted on the path. And if Sri Krishna's service he fails to attain, yet practices with patience, devout is such a man. That which serves Lord Krishna for only Krishna's pleasure. In such action, the devotee can never feel anger. Abandoning the company of the non-devotee, ever with devotees, the devout serve Sri Hari. Following the pure devotee's direction on the path, the true devout practice as a matter of life and death, who follow these 6 qualities, qualify for pure devotion. They purify the universe by their preaching mission. Jukta vairagyam evanukulam. Javatsyatsva nirvaha svikurjat tavad artavit. Adikye nuantadjancha jayavate paramatartha. Only renunciation in devotion, Jukta Vairagya, is favorable. And Vyasadeva says, a person with genuine insight will accept only as much facility as needed to fulfill his personal necessity. Over or under acceptance of one's due measure may cause a fall from spiritual practices. Tatra Krishna Sambandhasyaiva Pradhanyam. Within renunciation in devotion, Jukta Vairagya, the foremost principle is to see everything in relation to Lord Krishna, Krishna Sambandha Gyan. Tvayopa Bhukta Shrakanda Vashalankara Charchita Uchista Bhojina Dashas Tava Mayam Jayemahi. Is spoken by Uddhava. Adorned with the articles that have been offered to you, such as garlands, fragrant clothing, and ornaments, we, your personal servitors, who partake of your holy remnants alone, will certainly be able to conquer your illusory energy, Maya. Sarvata Hari Smriti Rakshanam Eva Tatra Pardam. The fundamental objective is to maintain constant remembrance of Sri Hari in every time, place and circumstance. Alabdeva Vinashteva Bhaksha Dana Shadhane Avaiklava Matir Bhutva Harimeva Diya Shmaret. This is spoken by Vyasadeva. If persons engaged in the devotional service of Lord Hari are unable to obtain food and shelter despite their attempts, or if their acquisitions are lost or destroyed, they should, without anxiety, absorb their hearts deeply in the thought of Lord Hari. Sarvatra tad anukampa darshana deva tat siddhi. This is accomplished only when one can see the grace of the Supreme Lord in every situation. Tattenu kampam shushamikshmanu bunjane vatma kritan vipakam ridvag vipabur vidanan namaste jiveta jo mukti pade sa dayavak. This verse is spoken by Lord Brahma. One who, in the hope of achieving your grace, goes on enduring the inauspicious fruit of his own karma, and passes his days practicing devotion unto you in every thought, word, and deed, such a person is heir to the land of freedom. He attains to the plane of positive immortality. Sadhu Sangat Sarvam Eva Shulabham. Only by the association of pure devotees, Sadhu Sangha, is everything happily achieved. Tulayama Rivenapi Naswargam Napunar Bhavam Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Marchanam Kim Uttha Shisha. This is spoken by the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shanaka Rishi. The attainment of heaven or liberation cannot even slightly compare with the immeasurable fortune gained by the association of an associate of the Supreme Lord. What then can be said of the petty dominion and assets of mortal men? Guru Padashraya Eva Mukhya. Of all Sadhu Sangha, the foremost is the service of the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master or Satguru. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jignashu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Chanishnatam Brahmanya Upashamashrayam. Thus a person in search of the ultimate good should surrender to the Guru, who knows well the Vedic scriptures, Shabda Brahman, and the supreme absolute truth, Para Brahman, and for whom the mundane world holds no charm whatsoever. Tatra Shikha Seva Phalaptis Cha. At the lotus feet of the Satguru, divine relationship, practice, and objective, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana are all achieved. Tatra Bhagavatan Dharmam Shikshed Guruvatma Daivata Amaya Yanu Britya Jais Tusched Atma Tomado Hori. Those divine practices of pure devotional service that please the self-giving Sri Hari, who gives himself to his devotees, will be learned by constantly serving such a Guru with full sincerity, knowing him to be one's dearmost well-wishing friend and the supremely worshipful embodiment of Sri Hari. Tadiyar Radhanam Param Phaladam. Devotional service rendered to the devotees bestows the highest fruit. Madh Janmana Phalamidam Madhu Kaitabare Mat Pratihanya Mad Anugraha Esha Eva Tvad Britya Britya Paricharaka Britya Britya Brityasya Brityam Itimam Smara Lokanata. Is spoken by Kulashekar. O Supreme Lord of all beings, O Slayer of the demons Madhu and Kaitaba, this is the purpose of my life. This is my prayer, and this is your grace, that you will remember me as your servant, a servant of a Vaishnava, a servant of a servant of such a servant of a servant of a Vaishnava, and a servant of the servant of a servant of a Vaishnava's servant's servant. Tvadiya sevanam nahi tucham. Service to the Lord's devotee is not a trifling matter. Jnana valambaka kechit karma valambaka. Vayam tu haritasanam padatrana valambaka. By Deshikacharya. Some people take shelter in the path of action, karma, while others take shelter in the path of knowledge, gyan. But as far as we are concerned, we have chosen the sandals of the servants of Lord Hari as the only refuge. Asmad Ananya Nishta. Exclusive dedication is born from service to the devotees. Jajantu bandava sarve nindantu guravo jana tatapi paramanando govindo mama jivanam. My friends may forsake me, and my traditional teachers may denounce me, but the light of my life will always be Sri Govinda, the personification of divine ecstasy. Again spoken by Kulashekar. Aprakrita rati udayascha. Supramundane attachment also develops. Jattad badantu shastrani, yattad vakyantu tarikaka. Jivanam mama chaitanya padam boja sudaivatu. From Prabodhananda Saraswati. The scriptures may say whatever they have to say in their various areas of jurisdiction, and the expert logicians may interpret them as they wish. But as far as I am concerned, the sweet nectar of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Chandra is my life and soul. Sadhya Seva Sankalpa. An earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. Kadaham akantika nitya kinkara prahashrayashishami shanata jivatam. When will I bloom in a life of servitude as your eternal devotee, my heart pacified due to all other desires being consumed by engagement in your uninterrupted service? This is by Jamunacharya. Porikara Siddher Akanksha. The aspiration to attain to the perfection of becoming an associate servitor of the Lord. Also from Jamunacharya. Sakrit Twad Akara Vilokanashaya Trini Kritan Uttama Bhukti Mukti Bhi Mahatma Birmam Avalokayatam Naya Kane Pite Jad Biraho Ti Dushaha. O my Lord, please lead me into the glance of those great devotees who in their heart's aspiration to only once behold your divine form consider sense enjoyment and liberation to be like straw, and whose separation is unbearable for even you. Nirupadika Bhakti Swarupo Palabdhi. The realization of the nature of unconditional devotion. Bhakti Sthayi Stiratara Bhagavan Jada Jadishat Daivena Na Polati Dibya Kishora Murti Mukti Swayam Mukuli Tanjali Sevateshman Dharmartha Kama Gataya Samaya Pritaksha. Spoken by Bilvamangal Thakur. O Supreme Lord, if our devotion for you were more steadfast, your adolescent form would naturally appear within our hearts. Then there would not be the slightest necessity to pray for the triple pursuits of religiosity, gain and sensual desire, dharma, artha and karma, and their negatives in the form of liberation, mukti, because mukti will personally attend us as a concomitant subsidiary fruit of devotion, in the form of deliverance from ignorance. Her hands cupped in prayer like a preordained maidservant, and the fruits of bhukti, transitory pleasure culminating in the attainment of heaven, will eagerly await their orders from us, should any necessity arise for them, in the service of your lotus feet. Brajarasa Shreshtatam. The super excellence of devotion in the mood of Vrindavan. Shrutim apare smritim itare bharatam anye vajantu bhava vita. Aham iha nandam vande yashalinde param brahma. This is by Raghupati Upadhyay. Of persons afraid of material existence, Some worship the Shruti, the Vedas. Some worship the Smriti, the supplementary religious codes. And others worship the Mahabharata. But as far as I am concerned, I worship Sri Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the supreme absolute truth is playing. Tatra Bhajana Padati, the path to devotion in the Vrindavan conception. Tam nama rupa charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi nirjoga. Tishtan braje tadanuragi jananugami kalan nayed akila miti upadesha shara. Of course, from Upadeshamrita. And rendered into Bengali poem by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Krishna Nama Rupa Guna Lila Chatushtaya Guru Mukhe Suniliye Kirtana Udaya Kirtita Haile Krame Smarananga Paya Kirtana Smarane Kale Krama Pate Dhyaya Jatta Ruchi Jana Jiva Mana Milaya Krishna Anuraga Braja Jananu Smariya Niranta Braja Vasa Manasa Bhajana E Upadesha Shara Karaha Grahana. When Krishna's name, form, nature and pastimes divine are heard from Sri Gurudev, one's heart awakes in song. As pure chanting ensues, remembrance is attained. Then, thus chanting and remembering, step by step, ascent is gained. Those engaging tongue and mind who begin to relish nectar, adore Sri Krishna, following the residence of Braja, reside always in Braja, within the heart's devotion. Surely you must accept this nectar of instruction. Braja Bhajana Taratam Mayanu Bhita Bhuti. The comparative ontological conception of devotion in Vrindavan. Vaikuntad Janito Baramadupuri Tatrapi Rasotsava Brindaranyam Udarapani Ramanat Tatrapi Govardhanaha Radha Kunda Mihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Plavana Kurjad Asya Birajato Giritate Sevam Bibeki Nakaha. Again from Upadeshamrita. And again rendered into Bengali poetry by Saraswati Thakur. Vaikuntha Haite Shrestha Mathura Nagari Janama Labhila Jata Krishna Chandra Hari Mathura Haite Shrestha Brindavana Dham Jata Sadiyache Hari Rasot Sabakam Brindavana Haite Shrestha Govardhana Shaila Giridhari Gandharvika Jata Kridda Haila Govardhana Haite Shrestha Radha Kunda Tata Premamriti Bashaila Gokula Lampata Govardhana Giri Tata Radha Kunda Chadi Anjatra Ye Kare Nija Kunja Pushpabadi Nirabodha Tahara Sama Keha Nahi Ara Kunda Tira Sarvotamasthana Prema Dhara. Higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura city, since there occurred the advent of Sri Krishna Chandra Hari. Better than Mathura is Vrindavan, the holy place, where Lord Hari enjoyed the joyous dance of amorous grace. Above Vrindavan Dham is Govardhan Hill. The lifter of the hill and his consort there did intimately revel. Even higher than Govardhan Hill is the banks of Radha Kund, that the sweetheart of Gokul over floods sweet love abound. Who would select for his worship any other place, disregarding this sacred pond at Govardhan's base? Such a foolish fellow surely can't be found. The highest abode of love divine is the banks of Radha Kund. Braja Rasa Sharupa Siddho Sambandha Jnanodaya Prakaraha. The proper approach to realize one's eternally perfect divine identity in the Vrindavan mellow of devotion. Guru Goste Gostalishu Sujane Bhu Surangane Shwamantre Srinamni Brajanava Juva Dvandva Sharane Sada Dambam Hitvad Kuru Ratim Apurvam Atitaram Ai Swanta Bharatas Chaturbir Abhiyache Dritta Pada. This is from Raghunath Das Goswami. Again rendered into Bengali by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Guru Deve Braje Bane Braja Bhumi Vase Jane Shuddha Bhakte Ara Vipragane Ishta Mantre Hariname Jugalaba Janakame Hara Rati Apurva Jatane Darimana Charane Tomara Janiachi Ebe Sara Krishna Bhakti Bina Ara Nachi Guche Jivera Samsara Karma Jnana Tappa Joga Shakalai Te Karma Boga Karma Chadite Keha Nare Shakala Chadiyabai Shraddha Devira Gunagai Janna Kripa Bhakti Dite Pare Chaddi Damba Anukana Smara Asta Tattvamana Kara Tarhai Nishkapata Rati Se Rati Pratani Naya Sri Das Goswami Paya E Bhakti Vinoda Kore Nati. The Divine Master, Sri Vrindavan, the residents of Sri Vrindavan, the pure Vaishnavas, the Brahman section, the worshipful mantra, the holy name, a yearning to serve the couple divine. Adore these 8 with utmost dedication. O dear mind, I implore thee at thy feet. Already we have learned the essence. Nothing but Lord Krishna's service dispels the soul's illusory experience. Duty, knowledge, penance, meditation, all are really exploitation. None can free us from action and reaction. Cast them all aside, O my brother. Sing the glory of good faith, our mother, whose grace alone bestows pure devotion. Banish your pride forever, O my mind, your 8 goals remember. Adore them with a heart that is sincere, aspiring for the devoted heart. At Sri Das Goswami's feet, this Bhaktivinoda makes his prayer. Namabina Braja Bhajana Prarthana. A prayer to taste the nectar of devotion in Vrindavan, Braja Rasa, non-different from serving the holy name in pure devotion, Nam Bhajan. Hagadamana Jashoda Nandano Nanda Shuno Kamala Nayana Gopi Chandra Vrindavanendra Pranata Karuna Krishnavati Aneka Shorupe Twai Mamaratir Uche Vadatam Nama Dyeha. This is from Srila Rupa Goswami. O Agadamana, O Jashodanandana, O Nanda Shuno, O Kamala Nayana, O Gopi Chandra, O Vrindavanendra, O Pranata Karuna, O Krishna. You have appeared in many divine forms such as these. Therefore, O Lord, who are known by these holy names, kindly let my fondness for you flourish. Parama Siddhi Sankalpa. Divine aspiration in separation is favorable to perfection. Kadahan Jamuna Tire Namani Tava Kirtayam Udbashpa Pundarikaksha Rachayishami Tandavam. O lotus-eyed Lord, when will I dance on the banks of the Jamuna, chanting your holy name with tears in my eyes. Vipralambe milana siddho nama bhajanukulyam. Serving the holy name in pure devotion, nam bhajan, in the pain of separation is favorable to achieve union with the Lord. Nayanam galada shrudharaya, badanam gadgada, rudhaya gira, pulake nichitam vapu kada, tavanama grahane bhavishyati. O Lord, when will my eyes be adorned with tears of love flowing like waves? When will my words choke with ecstasy? And when will the hairs of my body stand erect while chanting your holy name? Of course, from Mahaprabhu. Iti Sri Prapanna Jivanamrtam Sri Bhagavata Vachanamritam Targata Anukulyasya Sankalpo Nama Tritiyo Jayaha. Thus ends the third chapter, acceptance of the favorable words of nectar from the devotees in life nectar of the surrendered soul's positive and progressive immortality. All right. So, welcome everyone. Small gathering tonight, but nevertheless, we're happy. So anukulyasya sankalpa, acceptance of the favorable. That is fundamental to Hari Bhajan, is anukulyasya sankalpa. To accept that which is favorable to devotion, and to be able to recognize what is favorable to devotion. And that's a fluid thing that doesn't remain necessarily the same, and will not be the same for everybody. According to our inner necessity, what may be favorable today may be not favorable tomorrow. As we progress in spiritual life, our inner necessity will also change according to that. It is inevitable as one becomes more absorbed in Hari Bhajan. Then things that were helpful to us today may be a hindrance to us tomorrow. So when in our beginner's stage, then we try to dovetail everything that we do in Krishna's service. So whatever that may be. In other words, what we like to do, we try and utilize that for the service of Krishna. And that's one stage of devotion. But as one becomes more absorbed in devotion, then that the focus will change. Not what I like to do, but rather what Krishna would like that I would do. So that will be a different thing. But we have to begin somewhere. So that in the beginning, that will be favorable to devotion. So our Guru Maharaj used to say, practice the hand to give. So generally we are absorbed in exploitation in this material world, exploiting others and objects for our own gain or our own benefit in this material world. So, and when we find that is reactionary, then a more sober person will look towards renouncing the things of this world, or the things which cause those reactions within us, or within the environment. But both stages are abnormal for the devotee. They're bhoga and tyag, enjoyment and renunciation, or bhukti and mukti. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, as long as the two, bhukti, mukti, pisachya. Pisachya means a witch, or a ghost, or something like that. So he says, as long as the two ghosts of bhukti and mukti live in your heart, then bhakti will not come to live there. First of all, we have to rid ourselves of that. Bhukti and mukti. They are very strong, and particularly bhukti is very strong.
Bhukti or mukti?
Huh?
Bhukti or mukti is strong. Which one is
But bhukti is more strong for a general person. General person. But mukti is more dangerous. Because
When you say dangerous, in what way?
because when you become renounced from the world, your heart becomes hard. Because now you're independent. You don't need to rely on anybody. You don't need anything or anyone in this world. Then you can become callous to the world, to the suffering of others. You're just happy in your own, going in your own course, so to say.
Could you say that you would even become independent from God and become
Yeah.
like a Mayavadi
Yes.
and think
Actually-
"Wow, Bhagavan."
Actually, the end of tyag, that ends in Brahmavad conception, not in devotion. So, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he describes bhukti and mukti as, he gives the example, if you work in a company and while the boss is away, you rob him. Just steal everything that the company produces. And then what will be the result will be that the company will go down and fail, and you'll be out of a job. So you'll be the loser also in the long run. And the same thing if everyone in the company downs tools and goes on strike, that also can ruin the company. So both are considered to be artificial, or not the natural state of affairs. For the company to progress and to thrive, everyone within the company must be working to the same end. So not by exploitation and not by renunciation, but by dedication. So this is the difference, that in this material world, more or less everybody's engaged in exploitation, trying to make a happy life for themselves at the expense of everybody else, or at least with the idea of, I'll scratch your back if you scratch my back. And we make some kind of compromise with that, with the world. And then those who are a little more sober, understanding that all exploitation is reactionary, they try to withdraw from those reactions by coming renounced. And those who are renounced, they have much prestige, certainly in the field of general spiritual practitioners. I see those who are renounced to be very great. But our acharyas, they recommend Jukta Vairagya. Jukta Vairagya. So That means appropriate renunciation. So, in other words, only accepting as much as you require, and not more than that. And this is described in Prema Vivarta of Jagadananda Pandit. That for the householder and that for the renunciate means the sannyasi. The difference between the two. But the idea is the same. So, what is useful for devotion, we accept that. Back in the 1970s, there was a famous newspaper article in the I think it was the San Francisco, anyway, one of the big newspapers from San Francisco, and at that time there was a sadhu called Satchidananda Swami. He's very famous, and he had an ashram in America, lived in America, and many followers. And there was a photograph in the news article of some man offering him a suitcase of cash, like thousands of dollars in a suitcase, and he's like, "No, get thee behind me, Satan," So he's like, he doesn't want it, he's rejecting it, and they made a big photograph of that. And when Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami, he saw that article and he said, "You can make another photograph of me, someone offering me, and I'm saying, yes, give it. Said, because I can utilize that for the service of Krishna. And that is the difference. Why is both enjoyment and renunciation, both are artificial? Because they rest on a misconceived idea that we are the center. So if we're the center, then our objective is our satisfaction. And when we are obsessed with our own satisfaction, then we'll exploit others and things. And so that means we look with an exploiting eye on everything. So whoever we meet, whatever situation we come into, whatever comes in front of us, we see that and we make some decision. How can I utilize this thing to benefit me, or this person to benefit me? If I enter into a relationship with this person, how will that benefit me? So, this is basically the materialist's view. And we're all guilty of that to some degree or another. And if I judge that entering into that relationship will not be beneficial for me, then I don't want that relationship. In a nutshell, my father, he was a first-class materialist. And there comes the time when he sits his son on his knee and gives him some advice, for life. So my father's advice to me was, never do anything for anyone unless there's something in it for you. So that's a materialist's idea. Don't do anything for anyone unless there's something in it for you. So that's one idea. And then the other idea is that the things of this world, they're dirty because they're reactionary, so I reject them. But that's also wrong. That's also based on that same premise that I'm the center, that I'm the one who will suffer the reaction from those interactions, so I reject them now. So it's just the same idea, or two sides of the same coin. So what's the answer? The answer is dedication, the middle path, not renouncing anything and not exploiting anything. Of course, you cannot live in this world without exploiting something or someone. In this world, one living entity is food for another living entity, isn't it? That's the way it is. And labor and live, that's how we survive in this material world. But we should try to do that as a minimal way as possible. You know, people talk about that. You know, like what's your footprint in the world? So we should try to tread softly on the earth as much as possible. But the devotee, they don't see the things of this world as something for them to exploit or something for them to renounce, but rather they see all of the things of this world as the ingredients for the service and worship of their Lord. So that means everything can be utilized in Krishna service. When I first joined the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, they had a record album then. It was called Krishna Meditations, and this was in the days of like 12-inch vinyl LPs, and this was an LP of Srila Prabhupada singing and playing harmonium, and with his devotees, and it opened up, and inside there's a picture of Prabhupada. I think he's playing the mridanga and singing into a microphone, and there's some blurb there, and it said something to the effect that everything can be used for Krishna's service. The motor car, like giving some examples, and then at the bottom it said even the atom bomb. And I remember reading that and thinking, wow, like everything. And it's true, but fortunately, most of us will never be in the position where we have to try to utilize the atom bomb in Krishna's service. We would hope. But as Guru Maharaj would say, you have to cut your coat according to your cloth. So according to your capacity, you can do big things or small things, but that's not the criteria as to judge whether one is successful in devotion or not. The criteria is that what you will do to the utmost of your ability for the satisfaction of Krishna. We find this example of this in Ramayana. When Ramchandra was building the bridge to Lanka, and Hanuman is engaged, he's bringing like mountains and throwing them into the ocean. And as he's coming, carrying a big mountain, he came in front of. In some places it says a squirrel, and in other places it says a spider. But anyway, you can understand some small creature, and that small creature is also like flicking some dust into there. So there's Hanuman with a mountain, and he's flicking some dust. But Hanuman won't cross over that creature, because that would be offense. To cross over somebody is considered an offense. So, but he's getting impatient. Come on, I've got like a mountain here. What are you doing with your dust? And when Ram saw that, he gave chastisement to Hanuman. Oh, you think because your capacity is such that you can bring mountains, that your contribution is more than his. But it is not so, because he's giving with his full heart. He's giving everything. His capacity may be smaller than yours, but still, with his full heart he's doing. So his contribution is no less than yours. So this is how we should consider. Mother Teresa, she said once, that we may not be able to do great things, but we can do many small things with great love. So this is a very nice idea. That whoever we are, we have something to contribute in the service of the Lord. So, but that begins when we understand that we are for Him. We are for Him. As long as we remain with the ego that He is for me, or that this world is for me, that I have something that I have to do. Like one of our devotees, he was living here, and then one day when I came, he told me, "Oh, Prabhu, I'm moving out. I've got a flat. I've got this. I've got that." So, "Oh, why you want to do that?" He says, "I've got to follow my dreams. I've got to follow my dreams."
What if your dreams are for Krishna?
Well, that would be very good. But anyway, I said, why? Why would you need to follow your dreams? Because that's just a dream, you know. A dream is just something in your imagination. Anyway, he decided he had to follow his dreams, and I don't know where he is now, but you know, we don't see him any longer, or very often at least. So, you know, why, you know, who are we and what are we for? Why are we living? Why are we existing? What is our purpose in life? Is it just to find some, you know, fleeting satisfaction? We've tried so many, you know, transitory things, everything, and we spend our time running from one experience to another, isn't it? To want to taste something, want to touch something, want to smell something, hear something, you know, like something which will give pleasure to us. And sometimes we also take devotion in that way too. Krishna consciousness is something to experience, something to enjoy. You know, like our Gurudev used to say, Krishna consciousness is not a sweet ball. No, it is not about that. Rather, you know, Guru Maharaj would sometimes quote John Kennedy, President Kennedy, who said, don't ask what your country can do for you, but rather ask what can you do for your country. So then Guru Maharaj would say, don't ask Krishna what he can do for you, but rather what can I do for Krishna. That should be the criteria. So the other way around. Of course, when we're newcomers, then necessarily our approach to Krishna consciousness must be a self-centered approach. Necessarily, it must be so. Krishna in the Gita, he says 4 types of people, they surrender to me. Who is suffering, who is impoverished, who is inquisitive, and who is searching after the absolute truth. Those 4 types of men, they all surrender to me. But then what? Then when your poverty has gone, when your suffering has gone, when your curiosity has been satisfied, and when you found the absolute truth, then what do you do? So Gurudev used to say, not just surrender and lie down, but surrender and serve. We are to serve. And it's not just a practice. Of course, Krishna recommends in Gita to Arjuna, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekyanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana. If you want to know what is the spiritual reality, then you have to approach a master with pranipat, pariprashna, and sevaya. Pranipat means exclusive regard. That means I'm not like a tourist. I'm just coming to get a bit what I can get from you and then move on to the next thing, you know. But exclusively, I have exclusive regard for this creed and for this and for you personally. That is first thing. And second thing, pariprashna means relevant inquiry to find out where first, and that means presupposes self-examination. You have to look at your own self and see, where am I and where is it that I want to go? And that should be the nature of our inquiry, not just for, you know, curiosity's sake, or for hearing something that you've never heard before that you can tell to other people and they'll go, wow, you know, where did you hear that? Wow, that's amazing. Of course, we will hear things that we've never heard before, which are amazing. But it shouldn't be like that. Once one of our godbrothers, who was a sannyasi, he asked Guru Maharaj, can you please explain the 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam? And Guru Maharaj said, first you have to learn what is an appropriate question to ask your spiritual master. I don't consider that to be an appropriate question for you. Maybe it is for someone, but he didn't consider it was that person Like, how will that benefit you? If I tell you those things from where you are now. So that's not relevant inquiry. And Guru Maharaj said to one man, "I'm not an inquiry booth." And to another, he was writing a book on some subject, some kind of spiritual subject, and he's asking Guru Maharaj all these questions, like 2-3 days, and Guru Maharaj giving all like amazing answers to him. But after the 3rd day, Guru Maharaj said, "Oh, your questions are like straw to me." And that devotee was like a bit shocked. "Oh, I thought they were really good questions. You were giving me really good answers, you know." Guru Maharaj said, he saw that devotee was a little crestfallen, and he said, "Of course, straw is also food for some, but not for everyone." So, relevant inquiry, that's important. And that means, that means you have to do some soul searching of your own self. Who am I and where am I? And what is my deficiency? And from there, how will I progress? That should be the line of our inquiry. And last but not least, sevaya. You have to serve. You have to serve your master. And you have to serve the Vaishnavas. You have to serve Krishna. Why? Because the place that we're trying to attain, Vrindavan, in Goloka Vrindavan, every atom of that place is made of serving unit. Every atom is a serving unit. There's no one there that isn't a servant and fully absorbed in that service, whatever that may be. No, there's no one there. In other words, there's nobody there with any interest apart from Krishna's interest. This is not possible. Anyone who has any separate interest from Krishna, they're here. They're here. They can't go there. Srila Maharaj says a passport is not sufficient to take you there. You have to have a visa to go there. That means you have to go to the visa officer. Srimati Radharani is visa officer. Nityananda Prabhu is visa officer. So when you go for your interview for the visa, they already know that you want to go there, right? Because you've come for the visa. It's like when you go into another country. They already know this person wants to go there. So then their interview will be, why should we allow this person to go there? How will that benefit our country to allow this person in there? And if they decide, they'll be of some benefit, then they'll grant the visa. But if they see that you're so full of separate interests that you're just going to make a big disturbance there, you're not going to get granted that visa. If you see Krishna there, Krishna's the only male, the only enjoyer, and everyone else is out for Krishna's satisfaction, 100%. So if we will go there in our present in our present condition, we'll think, why is he getting all the attention? What about me? I need some of that. Krishna's got enough. I can have a bit of that. And Sarojini Thakur, he wrote in one of his poems or article, he wrote in there, he said, all wealth is the property of Narayan. Lakshmipati is Narayan. All wealth is the property of Narayan. And all women, they are the property of Krishna. And all pratishta or fame is the property of my Gurudev. So somebody reading that article, they asked him, so you have told there that all women are the property of Krishna, to be enjoyed by Krishna. But then what about us? We are men. What's our position then? And Sarojini Thakur said, it's very clear that you don't have any position. So you have to accept that that everything is for his satisfaction, not for our satisfaction. And anything that we take for our own satisfaction is a compromise that he allows. So in this world, there is an ashram which allows marriage, and that's for the peaceful movement of this world. That's arranged. It is not present in Satya Yuga. There's no marriage in Satya Yuga. Marriage only came in Treta Yuga, when seduction showed its face.
Where's Lord Ram? What you go to Lord
Ram
Ram?
is from Treta Yuga.
Thank you.
So there we see in Treta Yuga, in Ram, is that his wife was kidnapped by Ravan. But in Satya Yuga, there's no marriage, because there's no seduction, and the progeny was created by Prajapatis. There were people who that was their function, but there was no family life as we know it, because everyone was involved in the pursuit of self-realization. So.
Devashis, sorry, maybe it's a slight deviation. Who was the avatar in Satya Yuga?
That is the Hangsa avatar in Satya
I
Yuga.
don't hear about it or talk about
No.
it very much.
Hangsa is the swan.
Yeah.
Say that now.
Hangsa Deepa.
So, what name did you say?
Hangsa,
Swan.
Hangsa, swan avatar
Oh.
in Satya Yuga.
Pure white.
And but it is anyway. We are in Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, everything is upside down, right? Everything is reversed. Even we see in our culture, right? We see in the culture that young people, if something's really good, they say that's really bad, or it's wicked, or they always give like the opposite of actually what it is.
Sick.
Yeah, or sick. Or, yeah. So this is how we live nowadays. Something is kind of measured in its inverse. But this is just one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, sick. So then it's necessary for the peace of society that people are married. Then that means that some compromise. I won't take your wife, you won't take my wife. Okay? Then peacefully we can coexist. Otherwise, this is just like an animal thing, just like jumping on anything that you can in any situation.
What would you say is if the result of somebody that tries to renounce isn't qualified to renounce, it's disturbance, no?
Yes. That is actually, as I said before, we are to practice Yukta Vairagya. And that principle, it doesn't require any change of ashram or anything. In fact, sannyas is forbidden in Kali Yuga. Karma sannyas. There are 4 things or 3 things, I forget, that are forbidden in Kali Yuga. One is animal sacrifice. One is surrogacy. That means if you can't have a child with your wife, you can have a child with your brother's wife. That was allowed in previous ages.
They do this.
Yeah. But in Kali Yuga that's not allowed.
No.
And sati is also not allowed in Kali Yuga. Sati. So
Sati.
in previous ages, we see the example of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, that when the husband dies, the wife will follow him in the fire. But in Kali Yuga, up until maybe 100 years ago, in India this was still practiced, and but illegally practiced. But actually, it's murder.
Oh, we've banned it now.
Yeah, it's been banned. Yeah, but it's a type of murder that they're forcing the widow into the fire, and she's just dying in agony. So, when we see in the Gandhari, or in the case of Sati herself, Lord Shiva's consort, they absorbed themselves in yogic fire and went. It is not the same thing. But that is forbidden in Kali Yuga, and sannyas is forbidden in Kali Yuga. The only sannyas that is accepted in Kali Yuga is Vaishnava sannyas, and that doesn't mean like entering in the fourth stage of the social order of Varna and Ashram, but it is only for the purpose of propagation, for preaching, that it is allowed. Not ordinary kind. There's different type of sannyas. There's stages of sannyas. Koti Chak, Bahudak, and Hangsa and Paramahamsa. This is not that type of sannyas. That is not allowable in Kali Yuga. Because everything is disturbed in Kali Yuga.
We've seen it practically.
Yeah, so if your motivation for taking sannyas is not for the service of Krishna, then it will be a big disturbance in society. And if somebody takes sannyas for pratishta, thinking that they're moving up the ranks, or that they should, they'll get the best prasadam and the best room, and they get all their clothes washed and ironed for them by some nice young lady, and you don't even have to marry her. It's fantastic, So this is not acceptable thing, not an acceptable thing at all. So, but the spirit of renunciation in devotion, that anyone can do, in any stage of life, from any ashram of life. Not necessary, to put on a pink cloth and carry a stick.
I will control.
So, what is essential in devotion is Sharanagati, and this is what we are studying here. And who can grasp that? And it comes basically from that ideal that I am for him. So once we understand that, I am for him, then we have to mold our life in such a way to serve him, to try to find out where is our place in relation to him. We all have some part to play in his Leela, actually. So Krishna consciousness is all about discovering what that is, discovering where that is, and how to attain that. So Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. These things are necessary for us to understand. And Sanatana Goswami is mainly given Sambandha Gyan. So it is necessary to understand what is our Sambandha. That means who are we and what is our relation to Krishna. And how do we attain that? That is Abhideya. And that is Rupa Goswami giving Abhideya. And Abhideya means the process.
Oh, is it right to say that I heard that Srila Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj is the Abhideya Acharya of the modern age?
I don't know. I couldn't.
I've
not.
I've heard there's a glorification of him.
He may be. I've not heard that. But and Prayojana, that means the goal, that which we are trying to attain. Raghunath Das Goswami, he is the Prayojana Acharya. Of course, Rupa Goswami is the Acharya of Abhideya, and everyone knows that Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he is Rupa Goswami's man. So, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, he told, you are Rupa Nugadhara. Told Sridhar Maharaj, you are Rupa Nugadhara. Dhara means the current of Rupa Goswami flowing through you. And Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, he was going to visit Guru Maharaj's birthplace in Hapania, where Srila Sridhar Maharaj was born, and while he was there, he was seen to eat the earth there. Take handfuls of the earth and eat that. No, Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. And when Srila Sridhar Maharaj asked him, why are you eating the dirt from Hapania? His reply was, because I consider your writings to be non-different than Rupa Goswami.
Who is Srila Sridhar Maharaj's sannyas guru?
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Sorry?
Hmm?
Sorry, who?
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Oh, I thought it was Bhakti Pragyan Keshra Maharaj.
No, Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Maharaj took sannyas from Sridhar
Sridhar.
Maharaj.
Wow, that's so glorious. He is so glorious. It's amazing. He took directly from Srila Saraswati Thakur.
Yes.
Wow.
There were maybe, I think, 11 sannyasis directly from Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj was one.
Yes.
So it is necessary for us to understand what is what, because from a proper conceptualization comes realization. First, you must have proper conceptualization, and that is necessary. So it is necessary for us to study the scripture and hear from the saints. That is necessary. We should not think, oh, it is just gyan, but it is sambandha gyan. That is the spiritual substance. So we should be eager for that, eager to understand that. And when Srila Sridhar Maharaj left the mission of the Gaudiya Math after the disappearance of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he went to live in seclusion, but during that time he was meditating deeply what is the necessity, the indispensable necessity of those on the path of bhakti, and his conclusion was that is Sharanagati. And so he began researching and composing this book. So this was Ramanujacharya. He wrote a book called Prapanna Amritam, and Guru Maharaj was very much inspired by that, and also by the writings of Jamunacharya and Kulashekar and others on this subject matter. So, basically he said without Sharanagati, without surrender, then all of your devotion is only formality and may just be a lifeless form. So without Sharanagati, it won't avail you of anything ultimately.
Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj used to say 0, 0, 0. Very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yes. So we need to try and understand what is Sharanagati and how the desire for that can awaken within us. So the best way to do that is to discuss it and to associate with those who are Sharanagata, those who are surrendered to the Lord. Then, like they say, birds of a feather flock together. So whatever you desire in life, if you associate with people who are pursuing that, and particularly those who are expert in that, then some of that may rub off on you. So Srila Guru Maharaj said that 99.9% of your advancement in spiritual life will depend on your association.
99.9%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Will depend on your association. So that doesn't just mean like who you rub shoulders with,
No.
but who and what you allow to enter your consciousness. So that is if you spend all your time, researching conspiracy theories on the internet,
Flat Earth.
that will be your consciousness. That will be that's your association.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean you have to go and live in a cave and never speak to anybody, but how much you will allow them into your consciousness, and how much of those conceptions will you allow into your consciousness. So it is necessary for us to be strong in our conception and resolute in our determination to try to progress in the right way. We don't have to be perfect, but we should try every day to be just a little more Krishna conscious than we were yesterday, a little more self-giving than we were yesterday. So Guru Maharaj said, even if you're a miser, just give some worthless thing, like to give some paper, but to the sadhu, but practice the hand to give, so that it becomes your habit to always give to the sadhu. So then when you run out of all the worthless stuff, now it's your habit, and habit is second nature. Then now you will have to give something you consider valuable to the sadhu. And when all of the valuable things that you have also gone, then all you will have left is yourself. Then you'll have to give yourself. And that was what Krishna wanted all along. So then step by step, but we should try to give, to be contributing units, not exploiting units, not takers but givers. Guru Maharaj said that should be our line of thought always, that I shall try to give more than I take. Because life is about give and take, but we should try to give more of ourselves than we take from others. And especially in spiritual life, we are availing ourselves of so many things, and we can take that, but we should give something in return, not as payment or anything like that, but just so because we understand that it is in our interest to try to contribute something to the service of Krishna. Krishna is not in want of anything. He doesn't require anything at all. He has everything that he needs. But we require to give something to him, because by constitution we are meant for that. Srila Sri Maharaj says, designed and destined for that. So that's our necessity. Try to give something of yourself for the service of Krishna, and not in expectation of any reward. Sometimes people come and they think, if I give £1 in the donation box, £100 will come back to me. They think like that. If you give something to Krishna, then it'll come back to you 100 times. But we do not care for that. We do not care. He will give something to us or not give something to us. What we want is grace. We want Krishna's grace, and not by giving anything, or not by any calculation, but just by trying to give our heart. Try to give your heart for the service of the Lord, and watch what kind of magic will happen in your life. So, as Guru Maharaj would say, one day you will wake up in another world, in a higher association, in a higher plane of existence. It is not a physical thing, but it is in a plane of consciousness. Krishna consciousness. So that's the fruit of Sharanagati. Krishna consciousness. And actually you cannot attain Krishna consciousness by any other way. Sometimes people say, oh, Krishna consciousness is some kind of a process. You know, chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, and in this very lifetime you'll go back to Godhead. You might, but you also may not. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, you can chant the names of Krishna lifetimes upon lifetimes and still not get prema. But the second part of that, he says, but if you call out the names of Gaur Nityananda, that Krishna prema will come looking for you.
Is it a must that one should do 16?
More.
Is it a must or?
The must is that you will receive Krishna Nam from a proper source. You will get Krishna Nam from a sadhu. When you have Krishna Nam from a sadhu, then there is actually Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur, he didn't have any, there was no restriction. There was no minimum and there was no maximum. But Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, he came and he saw that necessary to practice some sadhana. And because we don't like to chant, then he made his disciples take a vow to chant minimum 16 rounds.
But wasn't it also not true that even though that is the case, the Saraswati Thakur said you're not even human if you're not chanting 64?
Well,
also the other coin, the other side of that coin is there.
Yeah, sometimes when we first opened our mott in London, then most of us we were all born and bred in ISKCON.
Yeah.
So we were all from ISKCON, and then we heard Srila Sridhar Maharaj tell some of his disciples when giving initiation not to chant less than 4 rounds every day. Said because Saraswati Thakur would say Malika Upavas Nai, that the mala must not fast. So then you must chant minimum of 4 rounds. And I heard Guru Maharaj say that many times to his disciples. He would say 16 rounds is good, but never less than 4 rounds every day, so that the mala does not fast. And he said, but if you have so much service that you cannot do 16 rounds, then the service is preferable to serve, because the chant of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a prayer for service. Please engage me in the service of Lord Krishna to Srimati Radharani. Then if the service comes and you say, well, I can't, I've got to chant my rounds, then you kind of miss the point. But one of our devotees, he saw, because this is also the nature of people, right? Oh, Sridhar Maharaj says you only need to chant 4 rounds, then just chant 4 rounds. Forever, yeah. So then one of our devotees, who was very attached to chanting 16 rounds every day, and still to this day he chants 16 rounds every day, and good for him for that. But he wrote a letter complaining to Guru Maharaj. Oh, the devotees, the brahmacharis in your mott, they only chant 4 rounds every day. And that time he was a householder. And Sridhar Maharaj's reply was, I'm very happy that my brahmacharis are so engaged in Krishna's service that they don't have time to chant 16 rounds every day. So first of all, that was like an admonishment to the brahmacharis. Are you really that engaged in Krishna's service that you can't chant 16 rounds every day?
Yes.
And then he said, but you are a householder and you don't have any service, so you can chant 64 rounds every day. So that's 8 hours chanting 64 rounds, 8 hours chanting. It's a full-time job, isn't it? It's a full-time job. But Guru Maharaj said it is not the quantity which is the important thing, but the quality. But Srila Govinda Maharaj, he said that because we don't like to chant, then the quantity is good to produce the quality. So,
But even in quality, when one's mind keeps on wavering, how can they?
that's the eternal battle, isn't it?
This is what.
That's the eternal battle, is to bring the mind back into focus, because the mind will take us everywhere. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said,
I find that personally.
yeah, Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, your japa is feeble. He said, when you are checking, where is my mind, you will find it marketing elsewhere. Yeah, it means it's gone somewhere else,
Yeah,
you know.
just wavering.
It's engaged in something, you're like, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Like, anything,
Yeah.
apart from
Chanting, the
Krishna.
mind's wavering and thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I have to do
So-
this, that.
So we need to bring the mind back and again try. So we shouldn't be thinking, actually, my advice, in my experience, don't think about 4 rounds or 16 rounds or anything of the time. Just think about one mantra and concentrate on that one mantra. And when that one mantra is complete, then think about the next mantra. And try to give your full attention to that mantra, one at a time. And one of the first things that Srila Sridhar Maharaj told Govinda Maharaj when he gave him Harinam was, don't do this. Understand?
Oh, checking.
Yeah, when you're chanting,
Yeah.
you're,
Mm.
oh,
Ah,
how much
yes.
more have I got
Yes,
left?
Yeah.
He told him, don't do that.
Oh.
Why did
Oh,
I
yeah.
put the
That is
string
not even-
8 beats from the
even
end?
worth it doing it.
I mean, doesn't that kind of, you know you're coming to the end?
Well, yeah, but it's not for that. The idea that's to remind us of the Ashtasakis. When we come to that knot after 8 beads, it is to remind us of the Ashtasakis. There's 108 principal gopis, and of those, 8 are prominent. So it is for that. It is more an internal thing. But so it's not a race, and it's not that we just got to get it done. We just got to get it done, and then you're chanting and driving or do anything and everything just to get it done. Then better to just sit down and give your attention to that and nothing else. Switch off your mobile phone, switch off your computer, switch off the telephone, whatever you're going to do, and just concentrate. If you think that when I'm doing my Mala Seva, that this is my time to be with Lord Krishna, and nothing else. Like when I'll give this example. When I was we had a new boss where I was working at that time, and he was interviewing all the staff, wants to get to know all the staff, right? So today it was my turn to go and meet him, and I went into the meeting, and I've just been sitting for about 2 minutes, and my mobile phone rang. It was my wife calling me for something, and he says, "Oh no, it's okay. Go on, you can answer." I didn't answer. I just switched it off. But I just thought, how foolish I am! Like, what a bad impression that caused in him. He's come for the meeting and he hasn't even switched his phone off. So that's just my boss at work. Some mundane guy. But so what we should think when we get to give our time for Krishna Nam. Switch your phone off. Switch your computer off. Make sure there's nothing to distract you as much as possible. That's why it's best to do it early in the morning, because then there's less to distract you when everyone else is sleeping, and then you can nicely chant and give your attention to that. It's important. It is important. We are after all, the Hare Krishna movement. If you're the Hare Krishna devotee who doesn't chant Hare Krishna, then something is wrong.
Yes.
You see, but it shouldn't just be gabble, 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 gabble. You know, it should be some.
Like Tulsi Gabor.
Means it should be some concentration on that, some attention to that, and at the same time we shouldn't think that our vibration will give us the result, the noise, the sound that we are making, but rather our chanting will be informed by our association with the sadhu and the shastra. When that will inspire us, and when we do that, then our attention to the holy name will be in the right attitude. When we don't think that what we are chanting, what the noise we are making is Krishna Nam. When we are trying to invoke Krishna Nam, that Krishna will come to live in our heart and dance on our tongue and show himself to us. That's what we want. We are sure that what we have got from our Gurudev, that is Shuddhana. But what we are repeating, that is not Shuddhana. That is Namaparad and Namabhas. So we will try to avoid the Namaparad and also to try to avoid the Namabhas as much as possible. But it is not actually possible for us to avoid. But we shall try to avoid and try to invoke his grace on us. Harinam. Harinam is Krishna himself. Then he can manifest in our heart and on our tongue and show himself to us. It's not necessary to, meditate on some picture of Krishna or any kind of imaginary thing. That won't give you, actually. Even the picture of Krishna may just be an imagination. The name will show its own form, its own color, its own sound, its own taste and smell, and everything will come from the name, not from this side, not from us concentrating on something on this side. We don't need to imagine Krishna. What will Krishna be like, or look at some picture of it. No, just chant the holy name and hear the name, and give your attention to the name. Then when Krishna is satisfied with your attempt, he will manifest, and that will be Shuddhanam. And you only need Shuddhanam once, then everything's finished. Shuddhanam. So that's our goal, Shuddhanam. But better than japa is kirtan. Mahaprabhu, Guru Maharaj said Mahaprabhu was not the Messiah of japa, but the Messiah of Sankirtan. So Sankirtan is better in congregation with the devotees to give your energy for the Sankirtan. Then very easily, when we are chanting japa, as you say, our mind is going everywhere. But when we are in kirtan, we can give our attention to that much more easily, and that will be very beneficial and powerful in the congregation. This is a very powerful thing. So today we'll stop here and do some Harinam Sankirtan and then take prasada. Yes.
Sorry for my misremembering earlier.
Oh, it's okay.
I was like, my mind is going in different directions. So
Don't worry, it happens to everyone. All right. Okay. Jai Sisi Prapanna Jivanamrtam ki jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshita Dev Goswami Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya